Somebody just said, yeah, I'm sending memes right now simply because market is so bad that I have to do something in life.
Yeah. Direction not long.
Yeah, no long, no short. Or maybe long definitely, but short definitely. But anyways, we are live. So, well, thank you so much all of you for joining in. And well, a completely different ensemble today because Sajid is at the Aero Show. Harsh is on TV. And therefore, I'm very happy that we have this change today on Bulls, Bears and Banter. That is the name of our live now.
Interesting.
So we have a name for the show.
We have a name for the show and it has been chosen by the people.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice one, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But not a good day for the markets, unfortunately.
It's
It's a bear market, huh? So by the way, this is Soumeet, this is Mahima, you know, of course. And Soumeet, you're calling this a bear market.
No, not. Technically, it's not a bear market because we haven't still been down 20% from the peak. But then the way market has been volatile, not much of long calls that we are seeing that are working actually in favor.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, it's interesting. क्या dealing rooms में क्या बोल रहे हैं Soumeet? What are people saying?
सुबह तो सब लोगों को यही लग रहा था कि मार्केट चल जाएगा 200 पॉइंट नीचे तो सभी थोड़ा दुखी बैठे आज.
Yeah, and the small caps, you know, it's a good point that you make. I was just trying to think if we can figure out how much has the small cap index fallen.
So last I remember it was down around 13-15%.
Yeah, YTD is about 12%. Yeah. YTD is about 12%.
It should be around that range.
But so, वही है. But ठीक है. So Mahima, consumption day today, and a lot of those stocks are focused. But before we get to consumption, actually, let's try and. But just a point, the 11th December 2024 high for the small cap index was 57703. We are currently at circa 49,000. So we are about 15-16% lower.
From that.
Just 4% away from
that high.
Actually entering the bear market.
For the small caps for sure. And portfolios will feel like they are in a bear market already.
It's down 25% at least for people who are majorly mid and small.
Yeah. So also we just keep in mind, I think this week is important simply because one, the Chinese reciprocal tariffs come into effect today. Trump has this morning, of course, or in the last 24 hours, put some tariffs or conditionals on metals already, and which is why I think metals, which were the best performing index of last week, have come into some bit of hammering today. Thursday is Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump's meeting. I think everybody will be waiting with bated breath.
Yes.
Okay, what are the sound bites that come out of that?
Moreover, he's also meeting the French president. So some deals around the defense side could also come in.
And maybe that could bring some positivity in the markets, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, no, the belief was that, by the way, the Aero Show being on, that some sound bites coming in from companies there will also bring about some this thing in the defense names. Simply because the stocks have come off, right? I mean, they're 40-50% lower, some of them. So therefore,
defense. We did see a spurt when it comes to Hindustan Aeronautics and BL, but right now again they are down.
Everything is down today. Some good numbers. In the morning we highlighted Balu Forge. Some splendid numbers. Stock is down 4%. So almost everything is getting hammered today. Okay, but let's try and nail it down to specifics, right? And we'll, of course, if you viewers, by the way, please send your queries and we'll try and take some of these queries for sure. So please keep that in mind. But the first thing, let's start with Mahima, let's start with you and talk about, let's say FMCG, a bit of a defensive bent today, right? Is this just the defensive nature of the sector or are there some specific news? So fundamentally, what's the piece?
Okay, so defensive, yes, absolutely. I mean, we are seeing correction in stocks like HUL, your Dabur, which have not moved since quite some time now. So defense, of course, is in play. But I'll first discuss Varun Beverages because it's just come out with its set of earnings. The numbers are pretty much in line. Tad bit higher than the line, what the estimates were. So good set of numbers. Consolidated volumes have grown by 23%, which is a good growth in terms of volumes for the company. And the important highlight for Varun Beverages was that they've used their QIP proceeds now and they are net debt free from this quarter. So that is a huge hangover that is, now, away from the company. So the company can now focus on their capex, the South African markets going ahead. And even in terms of margins were flat because they've opened 3 new facilities in the 9 months gone by, which is why depreciation was a tad bit higher, which is why the margins were flat. But overall gross margins have improved because they have, done well with respect to the the PET, which is their raw material, they have kind of stored them in a way that the prices don't impact their margins overall. So gross margins have gone up by around 105 odd basis points, if I'm not wrong. So good set of numbers for Varun Beverages. The other one which is in focus and which is kind of seeing the hammering today is Tilak Nagar Industries.
Down 20%,
Down
right?
20%. I mean,
there are numbers to say that.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
is one of the biggest selling brandy
Yeah. So
in India and second largest in globally.
Globally, right.
So what's happened?
So I'll just give you a timeline as to what has happened. So basically, just to give a context, so the Bombay High Court has now dismissed the plea of Mansion House, which is an intellectual property dispute, and they've said that now the court has granted Allied Blenders the permission to enter West Bengal markets with Mansion House branded products and not for Tilak Nagar. Tilak Nagar could have made an appeal against that, but for now they've said that the company has been asked to stay, and a stay has been granted for Tilak Nagar to file an appeal also right now. So they cannot even go further and file an appeal against this decision that has come out.
You are saying that Tilak Nagar is the owner of Mansion House Brandy.
No,
it's
so
Allied Blenders.
right now Allied Blenders. So basically, it's the holding company is not an Indian company. The brand which is being produced, the intellectual property rights in 1987 were bought by Tilak Nagar Industries. But then in the recent past, even Allied Blenders had purchased some stake with respect to the intellectual property rights, and there was a dispute going on between the two of them that who will be able to manufacture under the brand name of Mansion. And right now the court has said that Allied Blenders will go ahead and use the brand name and not Tilak Nagar for.
But only for West Bengal, or
only for West Bengal for
West
now.
Bengal
Only for West Bengal for now, which is why the stock is seeing a significant hammering. And West Bengal is a huge market for them, which is why the stock is seeing this kind of hammering. I mean, overall we don't have the geographical breakup, but FY24 numbers, if we see, Tilak Nagar had sold around 85 lakh cases of Mansion. This was Mansion Brandy. There's something called Mansion Flandy, which was around 4 lakh cases, and 112 lakh cases overall for IMFL sales. And this market is growing in a big way when it comes to India also. In terms of the brandy, it accounts for 20% of the total IMFL market right now.
Wow.
So this is as per an analyst that Soumeet was also talking about. So which is why this is significant for Tilak Nagar. Although Allied Blenders is not seeing that kind of uptick in stock,
because it's just West Bengal market.
It's just West
There's
Bengal
still
market.
no clarity.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was speaking to the Incred analyst who has posted this note. He was telling that there's not much clarity currently whether there could be some brand.
But फिर भी Tilak Nagar को ठोक दिया 20%.
Yes.
That's the nature of the market today.
Nature of the market,
112
yes.
cases में 85.
No, but if it's Tilak Nagar's loss, it should be Allied Blenders'
it
gain.
should be someone's benefit.
Even
not
Rani
really
Ko
related to
Khaitan
the
is big when it comes to brandy and
Brandy
IMFL. So yeah, even.
But there's no clarity because it's legal thing. People will review it. There can be appeal. At least not Tilak Nagar can't file an appeal. But then we are still not clear whether Allied Blenders can get some fees from them for the past dues that is there.
Interesting.
That is not.
So viewers, Allied Blenders, the last couple of quarters, the numbers also have been very good, especially quarter two onwards, because they removed a lot of their interest-bearing debt, and as a result of which they save on the interest cost quite a bit. So it's a slew of some good news that have come in for Allied Blenders for sure.
In fact, Varun Beverages also, she was mentioning that they have repaid their debt. And Varun Beverages is one company which has actually not disappointed investors.
Absolutely.
You see, since listing, not even a single calendar year, the stock has given a negative return.
Absolutely.
Which one? Varun Beverages?
Varun Beverages. And right now, this year, at least it's down around 10-13%.
So is this an opportunity is the question we should try and address today on TV, by the way. We can't give a recommendation per se. We'll try and take it on the closing show today. But interesting that Mahima mentioned already, right, that Varun numbers were good.
Numbers were good. Volumes were good. And that too, after the kind of competition.
Q3 is not a strong quarter for them.
Exactly.
It's winter season.
Winter season. And that too, we've been talking about the competition coming in from Campa Cola. Campa Cola is going very big when it comes to advertisement. Even in Mahakumbh, you've seen Campa Cola boats and everything. They've done advertisement in a huge way. But despite that competition, Varun Beverages volumes have been, at a good, have been growing at a good pace.
Wow, very interesting. So, okay. Well, so it's all about the fun. Why Varun Beverages is down today. All good things, but I think maybe just the market moved that the way it is right now. That's why this is down. So this is one. Now, Vigeen Dharan is asking which sector or stocks are a good place to look for short bets.
The most difficult question.
I think you can come to Ask Profit and ask us that questions. We'll take it with our guests.
Yeah, we should do
10:30 to
that.
11:30, anytime you can log in and ask all your queries on WhatsApp or call us.
That's a nice plug,
Yeah.
by the way. But I think one of the things that people could keep in mind is that stocks which get impacted because of the tariff issues, right? There could be very interesting bets. I mean, it could be very volatile as well. But keep those in mind for this week for sure, because they might suffer if indeed there are reciprocal tariffs. So you need to do some bit of research. Soumeet, you've done some work there, right?
In fact, metal is the counter. It's down most, but Vedanta is down around 5%. But technically, if you see, it's the prices of metal. If there is a big fluctuation on that part due to this uncertainty and tariffs, then it's when companies like Vedanta get impacted. If that does not happen, then there is actually no financial impact for them. JSW Steel, that's down 4% in trade because they have what? 8 to 10% steel revenue exposure outside India. But 80% of this comes from US because they have a plant in US. So technically they don't get impacted because they have a plant in US and that plant manufactures. So in fact, it will be beneficial for them if there's a tariff that comes in. Hindalco Novalis plant, it's in US. They benefit out of this.
Yeah.
But there are some people who are saying that the scrap prices might go up. But then Hindalco has plants many places in the country. They can manage this by logistics. That can be manageable. That's what at least the analysts believe. So actually they can benefit out of this tariff coming in. So financial impact might be negligible for them.
Yeah. I also think that somewhere this is also boiling down to uncertainty. The market hates uncertainty. If because of Donald Trump's statements or US actions, etc., if there's uncertainty that is coming in a sector, the street will say any which ways it's not a bull market wherein if you don't buy, you will miss out the next day.
Yeah.
Might as well be safe. Might as well sell it. कल की कल देखी जाएगी. I think that's the form that the street has come to in right now. So that's the one thing. By the way, very interesting. So essentially, within sectors or stocks to place short bets, you got to analyze your risk appetite. But I think around tariffs is something wherein you might get some good short opportunities. So keep that in mind. And as Mahima said, come on, ask Profit, ask the question. Maybe some expert will be able to give that view as well.
And Varun Beverages view on today 2 p.m. show.
2.
And Varun Beverage's view on today's 2 p.m. show. Okay, now Soumeet, there is a off topic, but there is a very interesting piece of news that you analyzed today, and which is L&T Finance buying into what is it?
Gold Finance Company.
What is the name?
Paul Merchants.
Paul Merchants. I not even heard of Paul Merchants, to be very honest, right?
Yeah,
and even on a
yeah.
bad day today, Paul Merchants is doing reasonably okay.
Yeah, obviously, it's a beneficial deal for them coming in.
Can you talk about it?
So this news actually came on Friday, and the news was that L&T Finance has acquired the Paul Merchant Finance Private Limited, which is the parent company, which is Paul Merchants Limited's gold finance arm. So by this acquisition, L&T Finance is actually entering into gold business, and they are paying around 537 crore rupees for this. And this Paul Merchant PMFL, that is Paul Merchants Finance Private Limited. It has a gold loan AUM of around 1,000 odd crore rupees. They have 98,000 active customers, 130 branches across 11 states. But again, there's a geographic concentration. 77% of this AUM comes in from Haryana and I believe Chandigarh, Punjab and Haryana. 77% of the AUM. But on the positive side, obviously, they are entering this gold loan business. It is a kind of a complement to the MFI and the rural business they have, L&T Finance. And they have a huge rural business, 16 million active customers. They cater to tractor business, which is the main focus of the company. So this will definitely complement L&T Finance and also reduce the portion of unsecured debt that they have in their book. 51% is the unsecured debt, and gold being a secured debt, that will increase, and that is obviously that is something that street should take in positive manner. Valuations are not that expensive, which they have acquired 1.9 times trailing book, which is still cheaper compared to what Manappuram and Muthoot are trading. And what analysts are saying that if they would have tried to develop this business organically, then it would have taken at least 3 years for the company. So not a bad buy at 537 odd crore rupees for them. It's not a big, huge amount for them. But then on the negative side, what the street is saying is that they are paying 537 crore for this, when the parent company, that is Paul Merchants, is trading at a market cap of 323 crore.
Oh.
And this business contributes only
But
50%.
valuation ठीक है.
वैल्यूएशन अगर आप मनप्पुरम और मुथूट से कंपेयर कर लो तो ठीक है.
तो फिर
बट पॉल ऑब्वियसली
so then
L&T फाइनेंस जैसी कंपनी अपनी ड्यू डिलिजेंस की होगी, 537 से कोई नहीं दे देता.
exactly.
बट हाँ, तो ये एक नेगेटिव पार्ट है.
तो फिर पॉल मर्चेंट के लिए अच्छी बात है ये.
बहुत अच्छी बात है, 14% ऊपर है स्टॉक आज ऊपर. बट एक और रीजन क्यों पॉल मर्चेंट्स का वैल्यूएशन कम होगा, क्योंकि एक ईडी का इन्वेस्टिगेशन भी चल रहा है.
Okay.
ये भी इनका बिजनेस अगर हम देखें तो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज टूल्स ट्रैवल्स इंटरनेशनल मनी ट्रांसफर ये सब बिजनेस में है मेन बिजनेस ये है पेरेंट कंपनी का एंड दिस इज द सब्सिडरी व्हिच इज द गोल्ड आर्म व्हिच कंट्रीब्यूट्स nearly 50% profit but there's a ED investigation going on but not on the gold unit on the parent company.
So 50% of the profit निकल गया अभी बुक से because of the sale, but उसको double the market cap मिल गया.
63% ज़्यादा मिल गया.
Interesting. So
अब
if the
इसका वो
company
क्या
were to
करता
give
है
a
वो सबसे
special
बड़ी
dividend,
important part.
तो
यही
बात
important
अलग.
है.
We've seen a lot of people burn their hands in the past waiting for a special dividend.
आया नहीं कभी dividend.
आया नहीं कभी.
But देखते हैं क्या होता है उसमें.
Yeah, there are some queries, right?
Yeah, Amara Raja, I think you'd like to take that, sir.
Amara Raja has
I
an
know the
EV
numbers
play.
were.
Acid battery was why.
No, revenue was
That was
good.
good.
It was just the EBITDA front there was some miss because
Yes,
of higher costs.
higher costs.
The
Yes.
numbers seem slightly better than Excite, to be very honest,
Yeah.
per se. As an EV play, yes, but I mean, I just think that EV, the space is moving so quickly that by the time the companies are aligning themselves to set up a plant which might be lithium based or what have you, there are other alternate technologies coming into play. So yes, I mean, if anybody has a right to win, it is the battery companies. But are there other companies making a foray here? Will technology change very quickly and all of that? And therefore, how much lucrative would these investments be? Difficult to see. Sometimes I don't envy businessmen, right? You are investing in a fast changing technology sector because you have to invest because you're a battery maker and you have these tie-ups, etc. And what if in 1 year's time the technology completely changes? I mean, it's a bit of a difficult thing to be there.
Absolutely.
Hence, I guess the resale value of EV cars are also less.
Yeah, at some point of time that will come to hit maybe
Makes
some of
sense.
these companies as well. But yeah, let's wait and watch. But it's an interesting one. Difficult to say, but yeah, Amara Raja did give very decent numbers. Too early to get into know. I'm really not sure. Again, maybe we'll ask on Ask Profit. We already spoke about this, right? Will Aero India give a boost to
Yes.
defense stocks? Ideally, it should, right? The comments
should.
coming in.
Any
Heard
tie-ups
anything
or
interesting
partner-
thus
nothing
far?
so far,
Not
nothing so
yet.
far. No tie-ups or partnerships that have been announced so far. Usually they do, might come later in the day or the tomorrow or something. Let's see.
Yeah.
But nothing so far, no announcements.
Sajid is there. Sajid had mentioned, yeah, I'll join on Zoom. I'm like, ये तो नहीं होना है भाई, तो Zoom पे तो नहीं आ सकता है,
Yeah.
but could be interesting if
Could be
indeed some
interesting.
sound bites come there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely some boost could be seen in the defense space because we've seen that defense space has been, kind of under pressure. It's correcting in terms of valuation as well. So yeah, some defense, I mean, for us, we always kept on talking when will be the right time to enter the defense space? Maybe, maybe this is the right time, or let's see if it corrects further. So I mean, it's a key event to watch out for because good deals will definitely see some relief in terms of the defense stocks, and stocks might see an uptick.
Yeah. Also, I think the French PM
Yeah.
meeting. So in defense, in some sense, not a bad thing. Also, keep in mind, viewers, just one small thing here. There might be a flurry of orders, both for defense companies as well as for capex beneficiary companies in Feb and March. So I think this today as well,
Yeah.
3 or 4 order wins came in, not necessarily only for defense, but across. BEL got an order, etc. But I think I read every single note which came out December end
Yeah.
spoke about how HAL, for example, will get a very large set of orders in Jan, Feb, March.
Right.
So we might actually see order flows being thick and fast in the next.
Yeah, seasonally Q4 is actually good for capital goods and industrial companies.
Right.
A lot of order flow comes in because it's the start of the year. People prepare their books. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, government had not spent thus far.
Exactly.
So
right.
that spending, if it comes in, so
That
could
should
be
come.
interesting. Yeah.
Because they have not cut the budget also that drastically from 11.11, I guess it's 10.25 that they have spent. So
Okay.
yeah, something should come in at least in the next 45 days, I think.
Right. The next query is from Naren. He's asking, is trade war making market down? I'm not sure if that's, I don't know. You should take that question.
No, 100%. 100%. I mean,
At least 25 to 30% downtick is because of
it has to be because again uncertainty, right? Markets don't like uncertainty, and there
Yeah.
is uncertainty here, so obviously it is taking a part. Also because this is not a normal trade war, it is a trade war fueled by a president who says one thing one day and does the reverse the next day,
The
right?
next
He's a
day.
great negotiator, if you will.
Yes.
So just so much of uncertainty.
Yeah.
How can people take large bets?
So
Right.
every morning we need to watch out for what's Trump
What's
is saying.
happening?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trump on X or Trump on Truth Social, as the
Yeah.
case may be. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's interesting.
Okay.
Anything on this thing? I was wondering, Soumeet, anything on the GRMs rise, because I saw you do that
Yeah,
on
OMC.
TV.
Right.
What's the implication, and does it make the OMCs a good bet?
So see whether it makes them a good bet or not. It's something very difficult to say because yes, valuations have been cheap for them, and yes, Singapore GRMs. We need to actually watch out for the next couple of weeks whether they sustain at this level or not. Currently, what we have seen is they have surged to around $8.7 per barrel. Few days back, in fact, to be precise, 18 days back, they were trading at just $0.1 per barrel. So you can see the kind of volatility it has been. On an average, for the last 3-4 months, they have been around $3 per barrel. On Friday also, they were trading around $2.8 per barrel. But Monday's move is $8.7, which is the highest level that we have seen in at least over a year. Now, this could be because of multiple reasons. That firstly, tariff or trade wars could be one of this reason, which could have led to this surge in the Singapore gross refining margin. Apart from that, what I understand is that there have been some supply disruptions. Some Chinese refiners have lowered their utilization rate, and that is because of lowering Russian crude discount. Because when Russian crude discount was higher, it was profitable for them to manufacture or to generate more refined products. But right now it is getting difficult for them, and hence they have reduced their production levels. So that could have also led to this spurt that we have seen in the Singapore gross refining margin. Now, generally, whenever we see a $1 per barrel rise in the Singapore gross refining margin, it does benefit the oil marketing companies, refiners like Chennai Petro, MRPL, Reliance Industries. To be specific, for MRPL, it increases their EBITDA by 1,000 odd crore rupees. For Chennai Petro, it increases EPS by 30%. For IOCL, BPCL, HPCL, their EPS increases by 14 to 16%. And for Reliance Industries, on a consolidated level, by around 4 to 5%. But the key thing to remember here is that this has to sustain at this level. Even if it settles at around $5 to $6 per barrel over the next 1 or 2 weeks, it would still be positive for them. Right. Because for specifically for OMCs, if you see, crude has now settled at around 74, 75, which means that the marketing margins that they are earning is reasonably good. In fact, way higher than what they used to earn. So on both marketing and refining side, if you see, both the it's a dual benefit for them coming in at this moment. But yeah, then there is subsidy losses that they have.
Okay. So net, please simple एक line में बता दो.
And also gross refining margin, because it's very difficult for a layman to understand what's that. Just a context there.
Crude आता है, crude आप खुदान से खोद के निकालिए, तेल आ गया आपके पास, तेल को रिफाइन करना पड़ता है, because हम क्रूड ऑयल तो यूज नहीं करते, हम पेट्रोल यूज करते हैं, डीजल यूज करते हैं, एटीएफ यूज करते हैं, इसको अलग अलग लेवल की रिफाइनिंग लगती है. तो जब वो रिफाइन होके फाइनल प्रोडक्ट आता है, उस पे क्या मार्जिन बन रहा है, क्रूड से रिफाइंड प्रोडक्ट में जो मार्जिन बनता है, हर प्रोडक्ट का अलग अलग होता है. सिंगापुर जीआरएम में कंबाइंड जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे निफ्टी है, जिसपे रिलायंस है और 50 स्टॉक है, उनके वेटेजेस होते हैं, वैसे ही सिंगापुर ग्रॉस रिफाइनिंग मार्जिन में हर एक प्रोडक्ट का वेटेज होता है, और उस हिसाब से ये जीआरएम्स आ जाते हैं. तो अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट के क्या मार्जिन आपके बन रहे हैं, उस हिसाब से सिंगापुर ग्रॉस रिफाइनिंग मार्जिन.
Okay. What else? Soumeet, just be a bit loud is what the feedback is coming in.
Sorry. I'll try definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to take this, and both of you can feel free to add, but there's a question that has come in that I'm a new investor and my SIP is down 4,000. Should I continue to invest? I want to cry. And this follows in because as Naren has made some revelation on mid cap and small cap. So your thoughts here.
All of us are crying right now with respect to our investments.
Might be a big amount, but then need to wait.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'll be honest, कल तो किसने देखा है? So you don't know. But if the best answers for the future come from history, and if you look at history and what history is done, and कभी भी the markets have climbed the wall of worry. Last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, usually Indian markets have given very decent returns. Now, will the same happen in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? I don't know. So if your time horizon is just the next 12 months, you are a new investor and time horizon is just 12 months, then sure, you could cry a bit because it's very difficult to call whether 2025 mein from here, where will the markets be. Citi, by the way, has come out with a note on the 4th of February, and they've given a target of 26,000 for the Nifty. So if your investment is in the Nifty SIP, and if you believe that Citi's target will be met, then you should be happy because you're buying at 23,500, you would be able to sell at 26 or what have you, right? If your investment in mid caps and small caps, then it remains to be seen. But largely, if your time horizon is longer, and you should ideally keep it longer if you're coming to the equity markets, then very likely you will not be disappointed at the end of the day. In fact, I always tell people that you should celebrate corrections, because when you're celebrating correction, वही 1,000 रुपए में आपको ज़्यादा यूनिट मिल रहे हैं जो आप ऊपर जाके बेच पाओगे. So
बट अगर 25,000 लेवल पे वो 1000 यूनिट अलॉट हुए और आज 23,000 पे
हाँ नहीं बट अगर वो
नहीं,
SIP कर रहे
बट
हैं
ऑब्वियसली
Yes.
तो
फिलहाल-
तो फर्क नहीं पड़ना
And generally, SIP is from a longer term perspective, and that's how compounding works, right? I mean, if you stop your SIP, your compounding will not take place.
Exactly.
Which is why it is important to continue your SIP no matter what. But yes, like you mentioned, a lot of brokerages have also come out and said that for the next 2 years, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be the large caps that are going to do better than
Let's
the
not
broader
agree. In
markets.
fact, Morgan Stanley is still of the view that mid and small cap.
So
will
few
do
of them. Okay,
But yeah,
let's say.
large cap consensus
So,
view is
so then
large.
it has to be a balanced portfolio in order to, when you're doing your SIP, it has to be a balanced portfolio where you have exposure to, all the three
Yeah.
indices.
But the only reason why I kind of don't agree with that large cap versus small cap theory
Yeah.
and my limited view, I mean, S. Narayan is the master, right? So if he's saying, please listen to him. He's the one who's seen multiple cycles. So
Yeah.
nobody comes close to him, or very few people come close to him. Let's put it that way.
Flexi cap.
Yeah, or multi-cap or what have you. No,
Multi-cap.
but the reason why I say, if you're putting money into mid caps and small caps, right? Let's assume small caps, 250 onwards. Small caps, up till 6,000. Small caps, the variety of companies out there, all the new companies who are coming in, a lot of them are outside 250. There are some stellar business
Stellar.
models there.
Absolutely.
Very good business models there, where if you invest at the right valuation, you might actually make a lot of money. So this whole notion that the entire small cap space is going to get crumbled, etc., I don't agree. Filhal mandi hai, small caps are getting pit out, so therefore, like we said, good results are also getting
Right.
beaten. But that will not necessarily be the case always. So if you know how to pick and choose, small caps are a great hunting place even now. But if you're a mutual fund investor, sure. And if you're an SIP investor, shouldn't worry too much. I mean, I respect Mr. S. Narayan's view. Nobody, like I said, very few people know more than him. So go from that. But small caps are okay.
Yeah. Action Construction is the next, counter that we have a query on. Good, it's falling even after good results. But before that, one more plug, because we've done a good KYC today on Action Construction,
Okay.
and the overall rating out of 8
What
was
is KYC?
6.8. Know your company. That's a show that we do at 11:30 every day. We take one company and we analyze the entire financial of that company, be it profit and loss, the cash flow statement, the balance sheet, as well as we do a SWOT analysis for the company. So what are the strengths of the company, the weaknesses, the opportunities and threats. And with that, we also speak to the management of the company with respect to the outlook of the entire company. So it's a good show if you want to know, a 360 degree view of the company. It's the perfect, show to go to, and that's why I think we'll have the YouTube video up for this particular company. So you should definitely go and watch that.
Great. Okay, but I don't have a view on Action Construction.
Yeah, so I was just going through, the revenue split in terms of what they have. They have cranes around 72%. In terms of construction equipments, it's 13%. The others is material handling and agricultural equipment. Revenues have grown at a CAGR of 33% 3 years now. EBITDA has grown at a CAGR of 53%. Capex story. And PAT has grown at a CAGR of 61%. Balance sheet, they're net debt free, which is a plus point for the company. Cash and bank is at approximately 64 odd crores. In terms of cash flow also, 3-year CAGR for their cash flow from operation has been 71%. But overall net cash flow, then there's a negative 3-year CAGR there, which is around 3%. Overall valuations are a bit expensive right now. It's trading at 46 times. We exactly don't know how the peer comparison is right now. But 46 times, I believe you'll have a...
stock don't trade that high.
That high, exactly.
You can say it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And I believe there was one query on stock ideas.
Stock ideas.
No? Because HSBC has come out with this note where they're saying there are 5 standout companies that they believe could grow.
Talk to us about it very quickly. We have a minute.
Yeah, so given the fact that we have seen a good fall in the market, this is a good opportunity buying for these 5 stocks that they are saying they stand out. Firstly, it's Dixon, and they believe that the growth story for Dixon could unfold even now going forward, given the fact that they're expanding their operations. Then there is Maruti, because they believe that Street is not fully factoring in the export opportunity that Maruti has.
Okay.
So that could be another growth story for Maruti. PB Fintech, they believe it can go 2 to 3x the industry size. Godrej Property, strong balance sheet, good amount of land bank that they have would support growth for them. And then there is LTI Mindtree, which should benefit from the rising demand, particularly from the banking clients, is what HSBC believes. And these 5 stocks they have said could stand out over the next 1 year.
Interesting.
Oh, very interesting. Very, very
Stock
interesting.
picks, yes.
Yeah. So great. I mean, this is good, and I'm hoping this was useful. Please write in and Now that we don't have the names to discuss anymore, just write in your comments and think about what else can be covered. We'll try and cover some of the stuff the next day if we can. So, but thanks for tuning in today. From Soumeet, Mahima and me, Niraj, thank you so much.